drone brood, grafting queens. You'll be able to graft queens in April, May. You know. Here again, do not feed any syrup during the honey flows. We continue to graft during May, and we don't wait till the flow is over. As soon as we get a super that is full, we'll take it off and bring it in and extract it. And check hives to make sure that you always have 2 empty supers on a hive at a time. And if that hive...
During this time, when you take that one super off, you put another empty on at the same time?
Yeah. We always make sure we got 2 empties. Okay? See this right here? Unfortunately, that's a truth that we cannot escape. Once a hive starts raising queen cells, it's almost impossible to stop them from swarming. Especially in our instance, we've got 20-some yards. We can't keep going back until, well, we got this one yard hive over here in yard 10. We'll have to run over there and check and make sure. We can't do that. We got a route, we go around, and then we come back and we start over. And on our sheet, we write down what we're supposed to do in that yard. So if we find a hive that has started queen cells, we split right then. We split it, it doesn't matter, because if you don't, it will swarm. Sometimes it swarms even after that, doesn't it, Trey? You know, the one that when you put, what our idea of making a split is taking the top box off the bottom box and turning it around facing it the other direction and making sure that about the same amount of brood. We never even look for the queen.
It's got to be in one of them.
If she's in one of them, it don't matter. We just make sure that both of them have queen cells. If the queen's in there, or if she's not, we don't know. As long as they got a queen cell, at least 1 or 2 queen cells in each box, we're going to have a queen. But so that's our swarm control. Yes, sir.
What do you do with your honey that you count on those bees there? You move it to another hive?
We try to take and if we can, we'll take it back and extract it. But we will move it to another hive. Now, our idea of extracting with 60 frames, that's about 7 or 8 supers. Okay? Because we run a lot of 9 frames in our supers, and we only take enough honey to our bee house to extract that day or the next morning, because you do not want small hive beetles, and you're going to take them back with you. There'll be eggs in your honey frames. Okay, and if you ever get them in 1 year, the first year I realized I had small hive beetle, I learned because I lost 1 round of honey out of 1 yard, because I used to take all my supers off and then extract them all at one time. But I had let this sit for about 4 days. I went in there to extract it, and there was larvae everywhere. So I lost everything. Let me rephrase that. I took it outside, and those bees that were outside in the yard at the bee house, they got free honey.
Well, the fresh honey, while it's still warm, is easier to extract than after it sits there.
Yeah, but I was working a full-time job, working 4, 5, 6 days a week back then, you know. And I was still working construction, so I had to do it when I could. So I did something wrong. Whoops.
Look like that. There's June.
Oh, that's what we want. It's June. Now, a lot of this stuff from April, May, June is just a repeat for one thing. You're doing the same thing each month, okay? The only thing about June is we used to get ready for a secondary flood. But I don't do it. Trey works. I'm retired now. But at the time that I was doing it, I was working too. And what we were doing was trying to take and chase firewood up in the mountains. Now, firewood you have to take and go up there, and we have a farm up in Wyatt, Virginia, and we would go up there and check the trees. Not quite ready yet. Go back up next week. It ain't ready yet. Go back up the next week. It's done bloomed. So it was so hard to schedule and plan when to put your supers on. And you need to get them on about 10 days in advance so that the bees have time to take and go in and clean the cells out, make any repairs to the cells that they're going to do. So if you're going to chase the secondary flow, which in our case was firewood, you need to be aware that you got to pay attention. It helps to have people that you know in that area and that are living there. But we weren't living there, so. And here again, we would put at least 2 empty supers on at each hive. And the best firewood we got was up in there, and I just, while I miss it, I'm just not willing to go through all that effort to make it. Anyone else is welcome to it. Okay? You could get $35 a quart, which is a 3-pound jar for cider. And people won't even, they'll break down your door to get it. But any sourwood that Trey and I make goes in that wildflower that we sell. And we mix it in with the vats, and it's just mixed up with all the others. So,
There's a little jar for baby bees up there for the raffles.
Well, there's very little secondary flow here in this area.
yeah.
Right, so do you start, after you extract the honey, do you start being syrup then?
Typically, yes.
Okay.
But not,
Even if you're going to try to do the secondary flow?
we don't. We don't do secondary. Once we take our supers off the main flow, we take them off so that any honey that they collect stays in the top box of the brood box. Okay? Please pay attention to your varroa counts. Varroa has created a situation where up to 19 different viruses can vector off of the varroa mite by itself. Okay? Everybody knows of deformed wing and several of the others. But watch your counts. Unfortunately, there will be times when you have to treat more than twice a year because your counts can run up just like that right there. Please pay attention to August. Start looking, checking your counts in July. It's very important. July. we continued, this is when we quit grafting, okay? I used to graft all the way up in the later part of when I was selling queens, but after July, your drones start backing off and you don't have as many. And the only way to get them is to feed them, feed your hives large amounts of protein, and you just don't get as good queens after July. Okay. If you have any hives that are on honey flow, you know, put your empty drone supers on and then extract. Here again, check the hives for oil. I've got a gentleman that I talk to occasionally. He's out of New York. He and I talked the other day. I helped him buy a farm in Gretna, Virginia. And after he bought that farm, he moved some bees down here, and he loved Gretna so much he decided to move. He moved all his bees down here, sold out all his stuff up in New York. They have a massive secondary flow in the fall in New York. Well, he came down here and got ready for it. They don't happen down here, folks. They ain't nothing. And he called me and he said, "What's going on?" I said, "Ain't nothing." He said, "Goldenrod's blooming," but he said, "We had massive amounts of goldenrod." And I said, "What little bit you get, see is what you get, you know." And so he ended up buying a tanker load of syrup to feed his bees. That's one of them big trucks full of corn syrup. Takes 275-gallon totes to take and get all the corn syrup out of one of them tanker loads. Okay? So, goes to show, beekeeping is local. What you do here is different from what we do up in Eden. Now, that's bees right there. See, they're eating pollen. They're eating pollen patties. Now, what they have a tendency to do is eat the middle out of them, and then you end up with a bunch of pieces. But you know, if you move in pieces, they'll eat them too. You know? Now, normally what we do is we'll take a pollen patty and we'll cut it in half and put 2 strips right here across. You know, see how the frames are running? And then we take an AP23 winter patty and we put it 1/2 here, 1/2 on this side right here. If we got any pieces left over, we'll put them on it so that the bees have plenty of sugar that they can eat while they're eating their pollen patty. Okay? See how they love to eat the middle out of it? That's 3 one-pound patties. Notice my little green frame in there? I'm raising drones so that I can have queens with lots that make a lot of drones.
So that one's basically in the middle. Is that where you always put them? The drone cone?
No. Typically, once you get them laid, or I've now gone to moving this frame over to the second frame from the outside. She'll go over there and she'll lay in it. And some of them we got. If you don't have it, the bees will build drone combs in the middle of your regular. We use a lot of Paracord black. I don't see any there, but and they'll take that Paracord black that we paid good money for to have triple waxed, and they'll build drone combs in the middle of it. Some of them had patches that big around, and if they'd have had that, they would have drawn out worker brood. You know, that's why with that they're making drones. Yes, sir.
In a normal year,
you have 3 patties there, they last so long. How many patties does like one double brood set of boxes take
Oh,
for
no,
the
that-
year?
That's only, second day.
So,
We don't
They'll
usually,
eat up
we
one
don't
patty in a
usually,
week.
we don't usually feed it like 3 pounds at one time. We backed off and we're feeding typically, we did that for fun so people could see. And, if you'll notice the cluster's not really that large. See, look over here. There's no bees here. None right there. And there's none on the outside right there. They're all right here. So that cluster's not but like 4 frames, so it's a struggling hive anyway.
but if you have like 12 weeks of nectar season, 40 weeks of dark, how many of those patties do you buy to try and get a bulk discount so you can get the lower price?
Well, we typically put on 2 to 3 patties over a period of 2.5 months. Okay, in January, February, March, and then sometimes we'll put a patty, maybe and a half, maybe 2, in the fall, because it's cheaper to overwinter those bees than to take and replace them from spring. Okay.
There she is.
There she is. Now I know you can't see it because it's not showing up. It's not showing up on this either. But, if it would show, right over here is another queen. She's got a green dot on her. And this was taken. This picture was taken in March a few years ago. I'd like to show it. I can't. It doesn't even show up on this right here for some reason. But it goes to show those 2 queens, mother and daughter, lived from all winter together and on into, and we're laying the next spring together. But now by May, one of them was gone. So, you know, but you'll see that a lot. Mothers and daughters will stay together. The reason I wanted you to see this was to mention that. But these were breeder queens that we had. It's very unusual. Breeder queens don't last very long. This was back years ago. So, but that is, oh, there he is. You got a black screen. Now, I hope I'm sure I've made a lot of people more questions than answers. But if you have anything, Trey or I will be happy to help you. And, especially you new beekeepers. I'm a commercial beekeeper. We're running over 100 hives down in Georgia. We run 400 in North Carolina and Virginia. Okay.
You made all these splits, or some of them for sale for these new beekeepers?
Unfortunately, we've already met our criteria. We've already sold that.
You do have packages.
We do have packages, but I'm sure you have someone local that you can get your packages from. I'll be happy to sell you packages, but I'm sure you have somebody local. And
You usually sell out of your queens pretty quick. And when you have them, say, in May, June.
normally, yes. Yeah. I tell you what, I've got another group coming in about 3 weeks, I think. But I plan to split, make some more splits. And I'm sure we get our packages on April the 15th. I usually bring back 100, and people buy them. You know. Now, I'm sure Keith's got his too.
Yeah, local packages, don't forget, try Bee Supply. Their package pickup dates are March 29th, and his thing is flipping through so fast I can't see it. March 29th, April 7th, April 12th, May 5th. That's Try Bee Supply. Bees Needs package pickup days are April 1st and 15th. Try Bee Supply, nukes are available starting late March. And Bees Needs will have nukes available probably any day now. Nancy was here. I don't know if there's. How long before nukes ready, Nancy?
The local news chief wants to wait till
April
April 1st,
1st?
and then once it's getting to sell, it'll be in the market.
Do we have a firm date on that yet?
The latest thing we got was that it would come in on the 6th.
Okay.